All right, here we go. Salute to NBA Nation on this Saturday afternoon / evening. Another edition of the NBA Report. CP the Franchise here on the Solo Dolo, reacting to the Game 4 NBA Finals, where the OKC Thunder come back from down double digits to stun the Pacers at home, even the series. Hey, and give the Pacers something to think about, man, as they head back to OKC for Game 5, man. SGA, 35 points, 15 in the fourth quarter. We got to talk about it, man. Lock in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. So to everybody watching on this Father's Day weekend, man. Salute, salute, salute. All right, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Gambo, I see you in the building. Let's go. Salute. Father's Day weekend. So obviously not going to be a long show, but yeah, just a reaction show, man. JJ in the chat. I see you, man. How you feeling? Hope everybody is doing all right wherever you guys are. Happy Father's Day, CP. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about this game, man. Very interesting game in many ways, and I'm gonna give you my top 4 takeaways from this one. But just to kind of set the tone, hey, Pacers continue, even though they lost this game, they were very impressive through, say, 3.5 quarters. Because once again, their defense was stout, their ball movement was very good, and they got their bench play again was it's sensational. You had, 36 points off the bench by the Pacers. And that's one thing you can take away, man, is that this Pacer bench is getting the best of OKC's bench consistently now, with Obi stepping up, Mathurin, and McConnell. So going into this thing, man, by the time I got to the fourth quarter, I'm like, yo, I don't know about OKC right now. They're looking kind of shaky in the light. And the Pacers had all of the momentum going into this thing. But key takeaway number 1, the MVP doing MVP things. And that was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man, because at that point, when they got into the fourth quarter, the Thunder, they were kind of lifeless. Even though they were down by like 7 going into the fourth, I just looked at the way the tone of the game was going, and I said, if OKC's going to win this, the MVP has to rise to the occasion. And that he did. 15 of his 35 points coming in the fourth quarter. Hit a big clutch 3. A signature baseline jumper over his fellow countryman in Andrew Nebhard. And I believe going into the fourth, I don't even know if SGA had any free throw attempts, and he got 8. He had 8 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter. None leading up to that. So that was just sensational, man. Actually, he had 2 in the third quarter, rather. 2 in the third quarter, but he had 8 in the fourth. Because that was another thing. I'm like, damn, like SGA, he's not even getting to the free throw line. That's how good the Pacer defense was. It was fantastic. Jay Rhodes, I see you in here. So give credit, Nebhard, Nesmith, Ben Shepherd, they utilize all their bullets, man. That's what Carlisle does. And so give credit to the MVP for rising up to the occasion. And I did see some things like on Twitter. It's like, man, he's not considered. When is he gonna assert himself in this game? But you got to understand, he has to pace himself, literally. No pun intended. But he has to pace himself because they're gonna wear you down. They're gonna burn you out. When you're getting picked up by 94 feet, when every time you're trying to get the ball and the guy's literally hugging you, you're going to get physically exhausted. So you got to kind of pace yourself in this thing. Hope that your supporting cast can hold it down. And then in crunch time, you take over. But one thing for sure is that, the Pacers, especially early in the game, whether it was Chet or Jalen, they kind of got, it was slow for them to get involved. So SGA ends up coming back in with like 9 minutes left in the fourth, which I thought that was a great move by Daniel, because if he hadn't, they would have lost the game. He had to get in early and finish the game, and he was brilliant. So that's takeaway number 1. And this was SGA after the game when he was asked about the moment.
Erupts when they go on runs or hit shots.
Do you sense the moment?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Winning, especially this time of the season, it comes down to the moments. It's going to come down to late game. Every team is good. It's barely going to be a blowout. And it comes down to the moments and who's willing to make winning plays on both ends of the floor. But yeah, I relish those moments, love the moments, good or bad. When I was a kid shooting on my driveway, I'd count down the clock for those moments, and now I get to live it. So it's a blessing, it's fun, and I relish it.
That's the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who had a signature NBA playoffs, NBA Finals moment. And for the MVP, whose resume continues to grow there, I thought that was a big moment for him. And JJ says he looks drained. Yeah, he looks like he's being defended by the Pacers all night, man. This has been a good series. I've been into it. A lot of you guys, especially Knicks Nation, oh, man, they're trauma watching as usual. I'm just watching it as the NBA Finals between the Thunder and the Pacers. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Thunder. I'm rooting for SGA. I've been an SGA fan, and I rock with iHeart heavy, so I'm hoping that they can take it home. But either way, I think it's been a very entertaining series. I like how there are new and emerging talents getting their just due on the national stage. SGA, Halliburton, whether you like him or not. I like Nembhard as well. So I do like that about the series. But as SGA said, he relishes these moments. And look, there's people talking about, the foul calls and he's pushing off this, that, and the third. Listen, this is how I see it with the push-off talk and all of that. If you're going to sit there and the officiating is very subjective. But if you're going to sit there and allow the guy to get hugged and draped on when he's trying to get the ball, then you're going to have to allow him to create that separation. It goes both ways. You guys let me know what you think in the chat. I don't really see the push-off as that big of a deal because on the defensive side, they're literally hanging on him. And people had issues with the free throws at the end. The Thunder had the Pacers in a penalty with 6 minutes left in the fourth. Both teams were fouling in the fourth quarter. I didn't think it was that much of a, they thought the extender was out there trying to keep the Thunder into it. I didn't think so. So that was one star in SGA. Now, the other star in Tyrese Halliburton did not have the same clutch magic. This is takeaway number 2. Tyrese Halliburton did not have the same clutch magic as he's had in the past. It was a nightmare fourth quarter for Halliburton. 3 of 7 from the field. 0 of 3 from downtown. No assists. He had his 8 points, but I thought Lou Dort locked him up. He's very physical with him. And, I thought this was a moment here where the Pacers needed Halliburton, and he just wasn't there for him. So the Halliburton magic just was not there in crunch time. He had the air ball. He airballed the 3 when they were down by 2. And look, I thought it was, some people say Lou Dort was dirty with him and this, that, and the third. You're scrapping for your life out here. I thought both teams had their moments where they got overly physical. And hey, sometimes it was called, sometimes it wasn't. Also another shot there where he gets it blocked by SGA. So it wasn't the best fourth quarter for Halliburton. And he continues to have these like up and down games where it's like some games he's a superstar. That's why everybody's like, is he a superstar? Is he not a superstar? Hey, some games he plays like that. And then other nights he's kind of just average. It's kind of just average. So, that was Halliburton's night. not so great. And I got the Halliburton soundbite here. Let's see, where's it at? Where's the Halliburton soundbite from last night?
I think it's
All right, here's Tyrese Halliburton on his night. Here we go. Salute to everybody in the chat. Here's Halliburton.
I think as a team, you just got to be ready to respond. Every game is different. You just got to be able to respond when your back's against the wall, and that's where we are right now. So obviously that's a frustrating loss, but as a group, I still have a lot of confidence in ourselves as a group. We got to be ready to go down there and fight for 48 minutes. It's going to be a challenge, but this group has been resilient all year, and I wouldn't want to go to war with any other group. So I'm really excited about Game 5.
All right, so that was Tyrese Halliburton saying his team has to respond, and obviously just wasn't a good fourth quarter for him. Hey, somebody else in the chat mentioned this as well. It's Pascal Siakam. Only one shot in the fourth in 8 minutes in the fourth, and it was a three. He missed it. Minus 14 in the fourth. Halliburton took the most shots in the fourth. Nebhard. I feel like the Pacers got to go to Nebhard a little bit more, man. He's a nice shot creator. Gets into his bag. He's got like a very shifty game. I like Nebhard's game, man. I would go to him a little bit more. Not as like the guy that gets you to bail out buckets, because that's what he typically does for them. I would try to run some plays for Nebhard. He's got a nice mid-range jumper too, man. And he can knock down a three. So that'll be a good route for the Pacers, man. Nebhard finished 4-9 from the field, 2-4 from downtown, +3 on the night, 10 points. Yeah, JJ, he's nice in the mid-range. I would go to Nebhard, man. Get you some mid-range buckets. So that was my second takeaway. Third takeaway is this. Supporting cast. If Caruso doesn't have the game that he had last night until in the third quarter, the Pacers win this game. As I said at the opening of this show, the Pacers bench has shown throughout this series so far that they've been the better bench. They've been more consistent. And if you factor in Siakam, Halliburton, Nebhard, Neesmith, depending on what type of time he's on. But then on the bench, you got Obi, McConnell, and Mathurin. That's 7 shot creators right there. In the case of Obi, more of a finisher, but he's doing a great job. Scorers, 7 scorers that have been showing up consistently in this series for the most part. Like I said, Halliburton has his ups and downs, but I'm talking about like double-digit capable guys. So last night it was Obi, 17.7 to 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown. The Knicks fans were crying left, right, and center every shot he made. There was another tweet out about they should have drafted him. Tibbs is this, Just trauma watching all night. Mathurin had 8 points, and then McConnell had his 8 points. Caruso's 20 points off the bench for OKC. And not just that, he had some very timely hustle, gritty plays. He had 2 offensive rebounds and 5 steals. He was a +14 on the night. Caruso was great for the Thunder last night. If he doesn't have that game, they lose. Because Chet was struggling, and J-Dub, until the fourth quarter, it was a struggle for him as well. He just wasn't himself. J-Dub, turning the ball over left and right, losing the handles. Caruso was phenomenal. So you got to give him credit there because you look at it, Isaiah Joe, 1 shot, 1 3, 0 points. Aaron Wiggins, the hero of game 2, 0 for 3, 1 point. Case and Wallace, it's interesting in the way that, are they going to start him? Are they not? They went with the 2 bigs this time, and I thought they were better off for it because they won the rebounding battle and they won the second chance points opportunities. Wallace is, he's kind of iffy right now in that starting lineup. So I like the way that they have him coming off the bench. Those 3 guys, Joe, Wiggins, Wallace, they got to step up in game 5. Because the Pacer bench has had the edge. All right, here was Caruso after the game talking about the team win. Here's Alex Caruso, man. He's got a ringer ready. He's got that Elmer Fudd look. He's got rocking the headband. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, the way that this place erupts when they go on runs or hit shots, you have to stay present and realize what the actual time and score of the game is. You know, like I think I don't remember the play right before that, but I remember they're a little excited. I think somebody was shooting free throws, right? So we just, when he came to the bench and we were looking at it, and it's like, it was a 1-possession game. You know, even if he makes it, it's a 2-possession game with almost 4 minutes to play. Like, there's a lot of possessions left in this game. We never wavered, never thought, we might lose this game. Like, we were concentrated on trying to win it, on trying to solve the puzzle, figure out a way to make plays down the stretch to win the game. And that's just been our focus, through the whole playoffs, obviously. But, it started from the whole season. Just an extreme belief in each other to make plays and find a way to win.
Yeah, that was Alex Caruso, and he said it because I counted him out after that third quarter. I said, yeah, I just felt like the momentum just was still with the Pacers. Every time the Thunder would try to creep back in, the Pacers would just have an answer. Obi would hit a 3, or they're getting out in transition. Like I didn't like the Thunder's body language, and I just felt like if it wasn't if Shea wasn't going to come to the rescue for them, they weren't going to get it done. He did. He definitely did, which leads me to takeaway number 4, my final takeaway on this game. The clutch factor, Indiana coming into this one, I think they were either 8-1 or 9-1 in the clutch. Let's look it up right now. NBA clutch. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Saturday, Father's Day weekend, we in here. Okay, Pacers are 9-2 in the clutch. So into last night's game, they're 9-1. Stand corrected. Thunder got him. They got him in the fourth quarter and in crunch time this time. As I said, Shea's 15 of his 35 in that fourth quarter. He was sensational. He was the MVP. And then J-Dub stepped up as well. He had his 4 points, but they had a nice little 2-man game going. And that's what you needed, Mike. You know what? Damn everybody else. we got to win this thing. Then Chet had 6, 2 for 2 from the field. But one of the big things here was they out-rebounded Indiana 12-4 in that fourth quarter. The free throws. Thunder going 12 of 14 from the free throw line. Pacers, 7 of 10. Mathurin missing 3 free throws in that final stretch. It was costly, man. That was costly. A couple of bad turnovers. And that's where the game changed. Indiana shot 5 of 18 in the fourth. And the Thunder, 9 of 15. The Thunder was closing out better. The Thunder were closing out way better. And so, these games, man, they're won and lost right now on the margins. And the Thunder were able to edge it out and get the victory. So I think it's going to make for an exciting Game 5 on Monday. 2-2 series. That's all you could ask for. I think this is going to go 7. I think both teams, the Thunder win on Monday. Pacers win on Wednesday, whatever it is. And then you get a Game 7 Friday, whenever it is. I don't know if they're going to continue to space this thing out the way it's been going. Let's see when the schedule is. Monday, Thursday, Sunday. Of course, they won Game 7 on Sunday. So, yeah, this thing is getting spaced out. But I think it does go 7. So what do you guys think in the chat? Todd Parker, 5-18, missing free throws. Yeah, big time, missed free throws. Who else? Scott Foster was the MVP last year. I didn't see the whole extender conspiracy you guys saw. I didn't see it. The Pacers are physical and borderline foul-y. You can call it. The Pacers are who they are. They led the league in opponent free throw attempts, and they're one of the one of the ones up there in the playoffs as well. They're a physical team. They put the onus on the referee to call it, but they use their depth in a way that, hey, Go out there, use all of your bullets. So Neesmith goes out there, Nebhard goes out there because they still got Shepard, you still got McConnell, you still have guys that you could just run out there. So you're not really worried about the fouling. And like Todd Parker said, both teams are fouling. Thunder went to the line 38 times, Pacers went to the line 33 times. There wasn't no crazy discrepancy. One team made their free throws, the other team didn't. Lee Bloxham checking in from the UK. Lash, I see you. How you feeling, man? Checking in from Dallas, Texas. So to you guys. Vaughn McNeil, I see you in the chat. Peace. AP Caruso should have been a Knick. I would have loved to have seen him on the Knicks, man. He's a great player. Yeah, Courtney J. And OKC struggled from 3 in this game. Only made 2 threes and won the game. So commendable by them. Will Rose, every time Obi scores, he's doing it on Tim's head. Yeah, I mentioned that early in the show. The Obi, oh my God, the Obi trauma was just ridiculous, man. I had to log off of Twitter. man. It was just disgusting. The best part of this win was that I didn't have to see Isola and Berman crying about Tibbs every time the Pacers win. It's disgusting. Can J-Dub stay consistent? I would have to hope so. Yeah, that's the only chance they have. He's got matchups he can win left, right, and center. He was just missing. He was missing a lot of shots too, man. What J-Dub finished with in this? I mean, he did finish with 27 points, right? But what was his overall shooting? He looked like he missed a couple. Yeah, he was 8 of 18. It's 8 of 18 from the field, but he made all his free throws. Got to the free throw line 11 times, and that was I thought that was big for him. Was that he stayed patient and kept attacking the basket. So that was a good job by J-Dub. Yeah. JJ says they're never letting you up from the dud pick thing on Obi. Well, it was a dud pick. He's not here anymore. So, listen, man. Call it what you want. Circumstances and situation matters. When you go to Indiana, that's playing at your level of play that can accentuate your strengths, and you're playing with a floor general, good things are going to happen. You know what I mean? Good things are going to happen. He's playing a good role for them off the bench. But anyway, great show, everybody, man. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Enjoy the Saturday. And enjoy the Father's Day to all the dads in the chat, man. Salute to you guys, man. Enjoy your day. Kick your feet up. Relax. I don't know if you're into golf, watch the U.S. Open, whatever you're into, man. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'll be back on the NBA report side on Tuesday. And for Knicks Fan TV side, hey, once the Knicks name a coach, we'll be back. But we'll be back on KFTV on Monday, man. So you already know. Same place, same vibes. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Remember that this show is available in audio podcast format. Salute to the replay gang, and see you guys in a couple